community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. Let's begin by queering up education. You folks at home, you ready? Let's do this, all right? So let's begin by queering up education, all right? Let's talk about Campus Pride, and they've just released its annual Best of the Best for LGBTQ plus students. Campus Pride founder Shane Windmeyer said, quote, "The Best of the Best list was first created back in 2009 as a way to showcase colleges and universities that were committed to offering safe and inclusive environments for LGBTQ plus students so that students and families could make informed choices about where to pursue higher education," end quote. Started in 2009 to help LGBTQ plus students choose wisely, this list was put together. And the best of the best included in the Mid-Atlantic, Rutgers, Penn State, Maryland University. In the Midwest, Indiana, Kansas State, Purdue, and Ohio State. In New England, UMass, Vermont. In the West, San Diego State, Colorado State. And in the South, Louisville and Northern Kentucky. What may come as a surprise, but it doesn't really to me, is that no major university in the South made the prestigious list. So no universities in Florida, in our state, or Texas either made the list, and we're not surprised about that either. And you know what, Cal, like that makes me a little sad just because I know of the incredible universities that we have in South Florida, right? And the diversity and inclusion. I mean, and that is like that's like one of your major platforms when it comes to, everything that you are about. Mm-hmm. UM has an incredible Pride program. FIU has an incredible student-based program that really, really encompasses what a university should do for their LGBTQ plus students. But unfortunately, they won't even be looked at when it comes to this list.
So I'm actually not surprised at this list because these colleges and universities exist in either blue or red states. So you can kind of correlate where the universities are located. In Florida and Texas being red states, where the politicians are a little bit more conservative than liberal. It's not surprising that some of our colleges and universities didn't make the list. And you're right. We have some of the best schools in the nation.
Right.
What comes down to it are the private and publicly funded colleges and universities. So you'll see in some academic programs for private universities such as those DEI and humanity courses will still remain because it is a privately funded university versus Florida International University and FAU that are publicly funded. Some of those, Miami-Dade, where I'm an adjunct professor, at some of those curriculums are losing their funding and they aren't allowed to continue teaching those courses as part of their curriculum.
Wow, and honestly, folks, and I have friends that are LGBTQ and have gone to religious schools and stuff like that, and my question to them is always like, why? Like, do you feel that you have to just persecute yourself on a daily basis by going to some of these schools? And also, like, LGBTQ plus folks, your money matters. Your money is important. Like we said before, choose a place wisely to send your children to that lets them be them authentically, right? While also giving them a good education. We're in a world where they want our children to be dumb. Between the book banning and just not being inclusive when it comes to universities, etc. Take reins back, parents. Look at these schools. When your children are applying for all these schools, take that into account, right? Because it's important, right? Like, if you knew then what you know now, would you still go to the same colleges that you went to?
No. And I think that
wow,
I would
didn't even think twice about that.
I mean, I would have applied for more scholarships,
for sure, right?
Different things. But I think if there's one thing that this trip has taught us, and hopefully everyone's been following along on our journey and the different broadcasts that we had, is that there's so much history that has taken place all the way back to where we were in Cairo, going back 6,000 years. Mm-hmm. And like they say, history repeats itself. And there are civilizations and generations that just keep going backwards, like we learned today in our tour in Ephesus. And we keep continuing to make the same mistakes over and over again until a generation comes up that pushes us forward.
Very true. Very true.